Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to read the data from the database using PDO object. And before we do that, we need to create a database and data, and we inserted dummy data on the database. So to get there, you need to install the XAMPP application on your system. So that would depends on operating system you're using. Here there's the Windows, Linux, and OS X. It depends on the operating system you're using. So you just go ahead and install this program if you don't have, just in case if you don't have it. And I have already installed mine, and it seems that the Apache and my SQL database, they're all working fine. And in case if you get the red line here, alert, that shows that maybe Apache is not working, then you you really have to watch this video that Apache shut down unexpectedly. It's one of my videos, so you search from my my channel. So we go ahead to the database, click admin, so that we create a database here, and new, and I'm going to give the database like test db, and we create a database. And on our database we are going to add some dummy data. For example, we create a user table, so we have users, and we are going to add number of columns. Let's say we need ID, username, maybe address, city, phone number, and all that. So maybe let's say I'm going to add like 6 column, 6 column, and go. And here I'm going to add user ID, and I'm going to assign as int type, and I'm going to the length value, it's going to be 8. The correlation, I'm going to use the UTF-8 general. This is a Unicode math lingo, case sensitive, so that's why I need to use this one. And also on attribute, I'm going to assign unsigned 0 field, which is going to start with 00. And yeah, actually this I could just leave it alone. And it's going to be not null, it cannot be null. So here we are going to assign a primary key, and also it's going to be auto increment, and you can type a comment if you want, if you like. So next we're going to add user, we're going to use name, then we add it varchar, and should be, let's say, 256, and yeah, we can just leave alone these other features. So let's go to address, and it's going to be varchar 256, and we need to add maybe city, varchar maybe 64, and what else do we need? We need, let's say, postal code, put it as char, and it's going to be 16, and this as well, postal code can be char as well. And down here we can just write a comment as users table, and correlation, again we are going to select the UTF, let's use UTF this general. And the storage engine, we are going to use enob. It's like highly advanced storage engine, but you can also choose my Islam and all other types of storage engine. For my case, I'm going to use Enoch. And yeah, the phone number can be null. It's not necessary. You don't have to type it, but user can just leave that alone. But the rest they have to type in. And now we save. And now we have this is a users table. It has user ID, name, address, seat, postal code, and phone. Now we are going to start the dummy data. So insert. So we put, this is auto increment, so we don't have to fill anything. It will do that for us. So name, I'll type let's say John. Address, any number actually. Then execute. And let's see what would we have if we look at browse. So we have these two data, dummy data. So now the idea is, now we need to read this data by using PHP. So I'm using the NetBean, and here I'm going to create a project, and it's a PHP project and a PHP application. Next, and here I'm going to come up with project test project, and then next I'm going to save it on my project is saved on XAMPP, this program that I installed, and this program has a folder called htc docs/text project. That's where it's going to be saved, and the rest of the features are okay. Then finish. So I have the HTML doc here to begin with the project, which is index.php. So here it's where I need to write the PHP script that will read the data from the database, this one. So first we have this table in this database. The user is root, and the user root, and password is we haven't specified the password. So you can see even here it's saying you are connected as a root with no password, so we don't have password. So as I'm going to write this script, the first thing I'm going to define a database, and database username. So it's going to be user. First we need to start PHP with the PHP tags, which is PHP. We close, and in between, this is where the PHP code is going to be sorted. So we need to write $sign user equal to the username, which is root, and this is a variable. And also next we are going to add a password. Start with $sign pass, or we can just type password, and the password is empty. Next we are going to create data source, because we are going to use a PDO, so we have to create data source handler. So the data source is my SQL driver. So we actually need to write a variable data source, and we put it on the MySQL, then host. This is how you write the data source. Host is equal to localhost, and it puts semicolon, and db name, if you remember, it was test db, right? Then you close the semicolon. And what do we need now? We need to write the PDO class to represent the connection. So we have to write the variable bh equal to is equal to new PDO object, and here we pass these variables. So the first variable is I'll begin with the dsn, comma, user, comma, password. Alright, then now we have to write SQL statement. So we write a variable SQL, and here we select, because we want to retrieve all data from the users table. Select all from users table. If you remember, we created this table, so by that one we have to put in this hyphen. So users, and we want to order by name and what, and maybe address, and here you close. Later we need to use query to prepare the SQL request. So I'm going to use the PDO fetch associate array to return result in form of the associative array. So first we need to make this video short, let me pause and write this, and I'll explain to you. Yes, and here I've added the header, a header user list. This is just plain HTML, and this is also a table row 1, and this one we're using for each to we are using for each, and we use this the object here to call this query function, and we pass two argument, which is SQL, this one SQL here, and also we pass this PDO fetch associate array, and it return result in the form of an associate array, and the row, this row here is an associative array, represent one row in the database, and here I implode this row by using this function implode, or the data from the database, and here I close this table, and also we could close the database by $sign dbh equal to null. So we assign this object when it's finished, we assign it to null. And now we save, and let's run the file, and here we see we have retrieved the data from the database.